let's just roll. Kaepernick. I hope I'm saying his name right. That's kind of my thing. I'm a little off with pronouncing names. So if you know how to say it the right way, let me know in the comment section below. Okay? So let's just give you a little brief overview of Colin. Let me know in the comment section one more thing. Did you watch the Netflix special? What did you like? What would you like to see more of? Leave that in the comment section. So, a little bit about Colin. Everybody, he's originally a football player for the 49ers. He's about 32, maybe 33, something of that nature. So, he was already big time before 2016 because he was like on the cover of GQ and all of the magazines had him with his braids and he was just like the man already. Okay, so speed forward to 2016, Colin took the knee and shocked the nation, upset so many people with this very silent protest. Colin had been protesting during the national anthem against racial profiling and police brutality against Black people in, I think globally. I don't want to even just say that this is an American thing, but it might have been, I know it was his silent protest that was loud. It was a silent motion, but it was heard loudly. Nevertheless, shortly after his protest, Colin hadn't, been re-signed to the 49ers. So some people are wondering, is he going to come back? Will he return to the NFL? He's been out of the NFL for 3, almost 4 seasons now. Is he really good anymore? There's a few questions going on. I would love to see him here in Philadelphia. Would you like to have him in your location? I don't know. In the meantime, while you're thinking about that, do me another favor. I want you to like and subscribe to my channel. Okay? So do that. Hit the like and subscribe button. So, back to the story at hand. So Colin and another gentleman who also played for the 49ers, Eric Reid, they both took the knee back in 2016, and by the time 2017 wrapped up, they both were unable to continue work. They were both being denied by NFL team leaders to allow them to work. It was, kind of the NFL's silent response to, you do this, we do that kind of thing. Like, hey, if that's what your protest is going to be, we'll protest at hiring you. So they both filed grievances against that. And Eric Reid, who was a safety for the NFL, for the 49ers, was able to get signed. Initially, he was signed to the Panthers in 2017, and then later on, it was first initially like a 1-year deal, and then it turned into a 3-year contract. However, somehow that contract was cut a little short, and around March of 2020, Reid was released from the Panthers. I'm not exactly sure of the reason of that, so if you know, fill us at the end. However, after that, Reid was later on offered an opportunity to reunite with the Washington Redskins, but Reid said, no, I'm not even about that life. He declined to go back to the Washington Redskins. He did not, take up the offer. So right now, from the research that I've found, Eric Reid is a free agent. He's currently not playing for the NFL. I might be overlooking something, but I did my digging, and I really can't find any stats on Eric Reid for this year. And they were both good players. So let's compare the two just a little bit, shall we? Okay, so Eric Reid in comparison. Both of them, Eric as well as Colin, stopped in 2017. They were both unable to work. However, Reed was given a position in 2017 later on after the grievance. He found 2 positions to play for the NFL. And then a third offer came to him. However, he declined it. Both of them now, here it is, we're in 2021. We're in the season of football, and from what I'm finding, it looks like neither of them are playing. There's no offers on the table, or no offers had been given or put on the table for Colin. It sounds like to me that, or it looks like to me, if I compare the two, Reed had some, he was able to get work after a while, but not Colin. So I think, and I have like a small feeling that Reed would get another offer, an opportunity to play before Colin would. But both of them had, won. I'm gonna say if you reach a settlement, you basically won. So Reed and Colin both won their grievance against the NFL, and like I said, Reed is capable of declining offers. I mean, you got an offer on the table and you're like, no, dog, I'm not really interested in taking this one. Then your other teammate who is, basically having problems with getting just one, you had like 3. So you might get 4 or 5, et cetera, et cetera. So, I think that's a little interesting, but, neither one of them it looks to be working. And it's still, it might be some time to get an offer. But let's talk about what really is going on with Colin. Like I said, we have the NFL special, and it really gave us the backstory and the history of his trying to get to playing football more so, his childhood and things like that in this first season of his show. So I felt like, Colin, I wanted to draw him. He has to be our right now November guy for the sketch show. He's earned his right. And I've drawn him in the past, but it was more of a composition piece of different athletes who have taken a stand to protest and using, I guess, their platform more so. So it wasn't just him by himself, but it was a few other artists. Other sportsmen who also took a stand and protest. So this is my second time creating a piece around Colin. And I want to, kind of dive on in. So what's really happening with him is Colin deemed the poster boy for NFL's Good Trouble. From also what I've read, it seems like there had been a time where some of the NFL reps were supposed to meet up with Colin to allow him to, practice in front of them. And I guess maybe some offers would have came. But 30 minutes prior to that meeting, Colin altered the plans and was requiring these representatives to meet him elsewhere in a different location. Now, I can feel you, you want to be in control of your own destiny, and I get that. If you don't like the terms, make them your own. I'm all for that mantra, definitely with making your own way. However, can you give like more than 30 minutes just for the professional part of it? I really don't like that. I personally and professionally need more time just to prep in my mindset of rerouting the day. So for me, I get it, and I understand change, but I personally and professionally think that 30 minutes was like middle finger up a little bit. And I'm a total fan of Colin, what he's doing, but that area there professionally I didn't care for. So I just could only imagine being someplace or being already a professional and very, very into what you're doing. You are usually trying to be to this place a half an hour to 30 minutes a half an hour to an hour, some people, in advance, so that you can prep, look around, make sure everything is in place, and what it is that you might or might not want to do has already been taken care of. So if you're finding out 30 minutes in advance, you're already there. So it's kind of like, now I have to find get myself together to reroute to someplace else. So needless to say, maybe around 7 to 9 of the representatives actually went to the new location to watch Colin. And one of the sources says Colin's arm is still like the super fastball arm that he had when he played in 2016. And they don't see a reason why he's not on the field. In my view, the reason might be, the protest. I'm going to just put it on out there. I mean, they might just still be in their feelings regardless of such. It's been 2017 and we're walking into 2022, and Colin still has no home, and it's not his actual playing on the field. It has to be his kneeling and his protests and how loud it is. Answering to that kind of may have made a rift. Nevertheless, let me go to some good news. So the good news is, in a bad way, in 2020, unfortunately, George Floyd was unfortunately, and definitely give my condolences still to the family as well as the young lady who taped this murder, and the many of people who had to watch it being broadcast. George Floyd had been murdered by a police officer in 2020. This act of violence had woke up America, woke up the globe to systematic racism, and it catapulted that 2016 where Colin took the kneel against just that. From then on, the NFL has been trying its best to really tackle some of those issues that they have within their organization. And the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, he actually apologized for not accepting the complaints given to him by many of the NFL players who felt as though racial injustice were being made at the league. Goodell has since encouraged teammates to speak out, and there's also a $250 million contribution going towards making sure that the league is working within itself to overcome injustice, racial reform, as well as criminal justice reform. And they're also allocating money to police reform, economic and educational advancements for people of color and African Americans. And I'm really excited about that as well, because over the last 5 years or 6 years or so, the Washington Post has been tracking police brutality and fatal shootings, and it's about 1,000 people who have been murdered or shot by police a year. I'd like to see an equity and inclusion department being made, offering Colin as probably the commissioner that ran that department. That's what I would like with that $250 million. Well, this is me tuning out. Thanks for listening and tuning in and watching Miriam's Mark & Company sketch show. Like, subscribe, and share. This time we give you Colin K. Let's just roll right into it, shall we? This time we sketched Colin Kaepernick. I hope I'm saying his name right.